football field at Cardozo High School. We went from about 300,000 people to a festival for about 5,000 people. The following year we did it again, we didn't give up. About 10,000 people came back again at Cardozo High School field. And then the third year we took it out to Mount Pleasant Street between Park Road and Irvin Street. And we had about 20,000 people. And then last year, that number grew to about close to 35,000 to 40,000 people. And the police, MPD is here, and I believe they'll share just a minute or two of a report of what their experience has been with the DC Latino Festival, exclusively in and around the Cardozo Field in Mount Pleasant. But I believe last year we had 3 total arrests throughout the whole day in handling about 35 to 40,000 people. 2 of them, I believe, were related to a fight. One of them was a guy who was publicly intoxicated and causing disturbances in and around the people that were enjoying the festival. I think that's a pretty good record, but they'll tell us a little bit more of what their experience has been. And of course, we didn't approach we've been sort of talking to people for the past 2 years about what would be a good location for the Latino Festival, because we've sort of outgrown the space in Columbia High, in Mount Pleasant Street, the strip that I just described earlier. So in talking to different people, community activists from a broad range of people, and we recognize that this community is sort of a mecca of African American pride and heritage. So we went to different groups, different activists of all walks of life, and asked, what do you think? And we've been doing this for the past 2 years. And these letters that we're going to show you are some of the fruits of those conversations. Here we have a letter we went and presented before the board of directors of the Development Corporation of Columbia Heights. This board is pretty large, over 20 people there. It was like having this meeting. And this was the result of that meeting, where they proudly support the DC Latino Festival and its relocation to Columbia Heights, specifically around the 14th Street corridor. This next letter is a letter from the North Columbia Heights Civic Association, and we are also proud that they are happy sponsors or supporters of the relocation of the DC Latino Festival to the Columbia Heights 14th Street corridor. This next letter is from the Northwest Columbia Heights Civic Association. Here with us we have Cecilia Jones in the back, the president of this organization, who is doing a lot of great work in and around the safety issues of our community specifically, but not necessarily limited to that. This is a letter from the Parkview United Neighborhood Coalition. This is on the east side of Ward 1, the Water Street Parkview area. Just to let you know, we've walked sort of all around the areas that would be impacted, and we're not done talking to different people. This is a letter from the Bruce Monroe Elementary School and Parkview Elementary School, which represents about 250 families. Its parent association giving us the welcome to the relocation of the Latino Festival and bringing it to Columbia Heights, 14th Street specifically. And of course, these 250 families translates to about 1,000 people in the area. This is a letter from the Columbia Heights Village Apartment, which also includes the Columbia Heights Tower, 2900 14th Street, which represents about 1,000 residents, over 400 units in the community that have also told us, this is a good thing, and it would be good and fitting for Columbia Heights, and we welcome you to the community. This is a letter from the Tivoli North Business Association, which is, as Hector earlier stated, is trying to give a little bit of recognition and bring more support to businesses exclusively north of Monroe Street and up to Shepherd into Ward 4. Thank you very much for having us here as your guests and to present before the community. This is a letter from the Latin American Youth Center that concentrates on providing services for our youth in and around the city and exclusively around Columbia Heights. This is an organization that's over 30 years old, and we're happy and proud that we have their endorsement as well. This is a letter from the Dance Institute of Washington, D.C., located right across the street, another great institution of our community, and we're happy to have their endorsement and support as well. This is a letter from the Columbia Heights Youth Village that operates out of the Columbia Heights Rec Center on the 1400 block of Girard Street, right at the corner of Girard and 15th. Also, another institution of our great community. This is a letter of support again from the Alliance of Concerned Men that advocates and does a lot of outreach, especially with people that are returning and incarcerated individuals and getting them reintegrated into our communities. We're happy and proud to have their support. They're also an institution of our communities that operate throughout the District of Columbia, mainly in and around Ward 1, but they're also somewhere around 2 decades old and well established in our community. A letter from Gala Hispanic Theater, an institution that I hope you all know. They have been with us since the very beginning, by the way. This is a letter from Commissioner and President of the South Columbia Heights Neighborhood Association, Cedric Mohammed, that also gives us the welcome, stating that Columbia Heights provides the best setting for the Latino Festival. This is a letter from the Columbia Heights Day Initiative, which has had this will be their 3rd year bringing
The best I can do, I apologize, I'm not bilingual, but if someone wants to interpret, please feel free to do so. It's truly an honor to be here with everyone tonight.
So, Chief, what would be the response?
Sure. I didn't know if anybody wanted to translate. What the fire and EMS department would do, we would like to participate as a partner. We have been involved in some events about this size. I think it was about $2.5 million for the presidential inauguration. It's funny, it was better. It's the end of the day, have a little fun. But at any rate, I feel very comfortable in that we'll be able to locate your fire and EMS equipment in a way that we can have a very, very reasonable response time. We would also like to participate with our community involvement program. We have a very large slide that the kids will just absolutely love. We would like to do blood pressure checks and blood sugar checks and provide information about our smoke detector programs and other programs. And we happen to have about a dozen or so folks that are excellent primary language would be Spanish. So they will be here and will be able to assist in a great way. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. We're really looking forward to it. And if you'll allow us, we'd like to be in a parade, but we see no barriers in closing that segment of 14th Street, knowing ahead of time and making other appropriate arrangements.
Thank you. My name is Sergeant Ackerberger. I'm assigned to the 4th District, Metropolitan Police. Now, in the past Latino festivals, I haven't noticed any real discrepancies or anything. I always see people here to have a good time. It's always been safe. And we're trained for any type of matters that would come up. You know, if there's an issue in the middle of the festival, we'll deal with that issue single-handedly as it comes. We just encourage everybody to come out and bring your family and have a good time. And we're going to be out there and we're supportive.
Will be, and it would maybe last 2 hours. During that time, there's no music on the stages. One more thing, there are many issues, but I can give you some information. I can see that there are some business persons around here. We already sent information informing you that as a businessman in this area, you would have special discounts. Discounts if you want to have a booth, if you want to buy an ad in Fiestadc magazine, it's very special discounts. Also, we have a rule that if you want to have a booth, we will try to accommodate your space in front of your business, no later than 30 feet. That's the rule, and that's very convenient for many of you, especially those that are going to sell food. We know it's very difficult and you have to carry a lot of equipment.
When you're talking about the traffic flows, and obviously without GDOT here,